I've been asked why I do the same series in the same car over and over again without much variation. Now, this can go for iRacing or any other sim racing or like a lot of other skills too. But the short answer is that basically it helps you get better faster, I think. Now let's go into the long answer. By doing the same thing over and over and over again, you remove inconsistencies. If I were to be jumping back and forth to different cars, while it might be more exciting, my improvement I don't think would be going up quite as quickly because you're introducing more variables. With the way that I'm doing it now, I'm learning how to control the one car well, and getting comfortable with it, and that way the tracks and other drivers are the variables that I'm dealing with versus introducing another variable, which would be the car changing every time I do a different race. Now, like I said, some people would find that boring. I don't. I looked it up here. I started out season 3 of 2020 on June 14th with the Mazda, and I did that Mazda for all of that season. After that, we switched to the Audi, and have been doing that pretty much primarily ever since. Now, to stave off the boredom, I have done some other stuff. I have done a little bit of oval, just trying to get a little bit better at that. I've participated in some community stuff for a while. And the just past Richmond crew, we were doing the Camel GT stuff on Fridays along with the GT1 stuff that we added in. My work schedule lately has not allowed me to participate in those, but one thing that kind of showed me was that I didn't really know how to control those cars, and I was tremendously off pace with all of them. I'm still kind of getting my feet under me as far as learning how to control other vehicles and learning them quickly. Like, I can't just pick it up on the fly. I'm not skilled enough. I don't know the fundamentals of driving well enough to do that yet. I think at some point that will come, but it's just not there. It's not part of my skill set that I possess at the moment. Early on in that first season 3, I did dip my toes into some other stuff. We tried a couple of Spec Racer Ford races just to try something different. They were fun, but again, I was terribly off pace, and I think I spun more times in those races than I did ever in the MX-5. And then I also tried a Cadillac race, and that I learned was just not for me. And at some point in there, good friend Daniel Gray said, "Hey, Bill, join me in this V8 Supercars race. You'll do fine. It's at a track you've never driven. It's in a car that's incredibly difficult to drive. It'll be okay." It wasn't. I think I did 2 laps and decided I was more dangerous on the track than not. I did think it made it go official for them though. But yeah, so because of that, I've focused on one car, and I've gotten very confident in that car, which has allowed me to work on other skills like we've been trying to do throughout the season. Like, overtaking was one thing that I had not been very good at through that first season, and we've gotten better at it through the course of just adding it in as a variable that we have to practice. Now, one thing that I am working on is moving to a new car. Last season, we were doing the Audi, and early on in that season, I thought the next progression would be we'll do the Audi for this season, then we'll move on to GT4 next season and go with that. But as the season progressed, that became a more open question, and I wasn't 100% sure that that's the way I wanted to go. So, moving on, it was pointed out to me that it would be good to really kind of master something before moving on to something else. I think the way it was stated to me by Derpbox, our resident speedy TCR guy in our chat and stuff. I mean, there's a few, but he's the one who pointed this out to me. Was, would you rather be kind of bad at a lot of things or really good at one thing? Not really good. Skilled at one thing and then kind of bad at the other stuff. And that's paraphrasing. Those weren't his exact words, but that's the way that they sunk in. And I decided, yeah, I would like to get really skilled at the one thing before moving on to something else, or at least competent. That's the way I'm looking at it in my book. So for that reason, I decided to keep going with the TCR until I felt really comfortable with it and competent. I'm not hitting the crazy alien speeds, but I've gotten better. I've gotten to where I think I can hold my own some of the time, and that feels pretty gosh darn good. Now, to the point of, I think in chat it was Raging Acid who asked me, don't you get bored doing the same thing day after day, week after week? And my response to that was, no, not really. Because to me, it's not that I'm doing the same thing day in and day out, or the excitement to me isn't in the novelty of the situation. It comes more, the excitement from me comes more from seeing my progression. And I know people probably hate this, but it's like using weightlifting as an analogy. You know, you do the deadlifts or bench press or, you know, overhead, whatever exercise you want to do. It's the same exercise over and over and over again, but the exciting part comes from adding the weights to it. So, and seeing how much better you get and how you progress. The progression is the exciting part to me, not the novelty or how fast the cars go, or this new car and what have you. It's like we did that community race with the IR01 at Spa, and I practiced a lot for that, and I was able to complete the race, but I was like 4 seconds slower than everybody else. So that's not quite as fun to me, just doing something different, because I'm not maybe progressing. I had fun in the fact that I learned how to drive the car and everything, but I didn't feel competent doing it, if that makes any kind of sense. The joy for me comes from seeing my skills improve. Not seeing it, experiencing my skills improving. And at a certain point, I don't know, you guys can tell me down below, there will come a point where I'm comfortable enough with just driving in general that I can hop into stuff and feel comfortable, a certain degree of comfort in most vehicles. I'm just not there yet, and it's going to take a while to get there. And I'm fighting the part where a lot of you guys who are watching this are younger, and you learn things faster, and like especially physical skills. Right? As you get older, it's harder to do that stuff. It's just the way it is, unfortunately. Time makes fools of us all. But, and there's some of you guys that are older too, and you know what I'm talking about. But, you know, we get there. It just takes a little longer. And you know, for that reason, I'm happy. I'm perfectly happy sitting in the one vehicle. Doing things over and over and over in the hopes of getting better. And that's the whole point of Project Get Good, is to slowly, incrementally work on developing a skill and seeing if that works, you know. And I'm pretty sure it does. The dividends have been paying off so far. And then I am working on learning a new car. I think next season I've somewhat committed to going to the GT3 stuff, and we'll see how that goes. I don't want to completely jump over just yet because we've got the 24 hours of Nürburgring coming up, so I need to keep my TCR skills sharp. We'll do that. We'll do it. It'll get done. Oh, that's scary. Anyway, folks, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. And if you've got your own thoughts on the topic, make sure you leave them down below in the comments. If you've got another topic that you'd like to see me do one of these videos on, leave that down there too. There are the thumbs up, thumbs down, subscribe, and bell buttons down below. Hit all those that you'd like. The subscribe ones do help out a lot at this point in the channel's life. If you'd like to watch and see my skills develop live, head on over to twitch.tv/thepiltdownman. And until next time, we'll see you next time. Bad at these outros. Bye.